Shane here with Shane's Premier League prediction show for match week 18. We'll crack on with the show now. So, Leicester and Crystal Palace is the first game up tomorrow. I reckon this is going to be a 2-0 win for Leicester, despite Crystal Palace's miraculous comeback, shall we say, in midweek. I reckon the goals will come from red hot Riyad Mahrez, and maybe Jamie Vardy also might score. So 2-0 Leicester, I reckon here. On to Arsenal and Newcastle. I reckon this is going to be a 3-0 win for the Gunners. Olivier Giroud, Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil, I reckon I'll get on the score sheet for Arsenal to get them back to winning ways after 2 recent draws in the league, which I will cover in the review show in the next week, as 3 game weeks were combined into 2 there basically over the last we'll say 8 or 9 days or so, including this week. So now on to Brighton and Burnley. Brighton have been really struggling lately, and Burnley have been in fantastic form. I reckon it's going to be a 1-0 win for the Clarets, and they'll keep pace with the top 4 this weekend. And Sam Vokes or Chris Wood, I reckon, might score here. On to Chelsea and Southampton. This is going to be another comfortable win for the Blues after a good victory in midweek. Southampton were torn to pieces by Leicester, so I reckon Eden Hazard and Alvaro Morata will score for the Blues to keep them ticking along. On to Stoke and West Ham. Stoke have been really struggling for form basically for most of the season, and the Hammers have really had an upsurge in form. So I reckon it's going to be a 1-0 win for the Hammers, with the goal coming from Javier Hernandez. But Stoke really need to find form somewhere. So I don't know, but West Ham are doing really, really well lately, and fair play to David Moyes and company down there, all his coach and staff, Billy McKinley and Alan Earn. So yeah, fair dues to them. And they came close to beating Arsenal in midweek as well, might I add, which I will cover next week. On to Watford and Huddersfield. I reckon Watford will return to winning ways here. Huddersfield are another side really lacking in form, and Watford really imploded in midweek. Within 3 minutes they let in 2 goals and they lost the game 2-1 when they looked to be heading for victory. Amazing. That's the Premier League for you folks. So 2-0 win for Watford, with Ricardison and Troy Deeney scoring the goals, I reckon here. On to Manchester City and Spurs. Manchester City are in flying form. I cannot see anybody catching them. They won really well again there in midweek against, albeit bottom of the table, Swansea. I reckon Sergio Aguero, Gabriel Jesus and Leroy Sané will score for Man City, and Harry Kane will grab a consolation for back in form Spurs, but I cannot see them getting anything at the Etihad on Saturday evening. On to Sunday, West Brom and Manchester United. I reckon this is going to be a 2-0 win for the Red Devils. Marcus Rashford and Romelu Lukaku might score the goals, despite West Brom's good draw at Anfield during the week. I reckon Manchester United will just have too much. On to Bournemouth and Liverpool. I reckon this is going to be a comfortable win for the Reds. Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane and Felipe Coutinho will score for the Reds. And maybe Callum Wilson score for the Cherries in a 3-1 win for the Merseysiders. And then the final match of the weekend takes place at Goodison Park on Monday evening. A revived Everton side take on bottom of the table Swansea. Wayne Rooney, I reckon, will score, and Dominic Calum-McLoone. They've been in really good form lately, Everton, and Big Sam is doing a fantastic job. So fair dues to them. And I reckon their good run of form will continue, and all their worries will be behind them. So now, that's the Premier League predictions for this week. On to my fantasy picks. So I have David De Gea in goal. He's away to West Bromwich Albion. Marcus Alonso is at home to Southampton. Kyle Walker is at home to Spurs. Holgate is at a home game for Everton against Swansea. Tarkowski is travelling to Brighton with his Burnley side, along with Cork and Arfield. I've also Eden Hazard in the midfield, along with Mohamed Salah and Felipe Coutinho and Sergio Aguero. He loves scoring against Spurs, so I stuck him in this week. So hopefully they'll be helpful to you folks. Now on to the hot shot. Alexander Lacazette scored in the Arsenal game. Sergio Aguero to score for Manchester City. Mohamed Salah in the Liverpool game. Eden Hazard for Chelsea. Romelu Lukaku for Manchester United. And Wayne Rooney for Everton. They were my first goal scorer picks this week. And now on to Super 6. So, as I said, 3-0 to Arsenal, 2-0 to Chelsea, 2-0 to Watford, 1-0 to Burnley, 1-0 to West Ham, and there was one game in the Championship. Preston North End are taking on Sheffield United. They've gone for a 2-1 win to Preston. And that's it. I think I've everything covered for this week. Hopefully my tips help you, and I hope you have a mighty weekend. Take care, all the best. I'll be back with the review show of the last 9-10 days or so in the Premier League world on Tuesday or Wednesday. So look out for that. All the best from Shane. Have a good weekend.